Hi, this is Vicky from Learning Home Volunteers, and welcome back to our flowers learning session. So, what did they think of the sticky paper? Did they like the celery flowers? Well, this week we're going to play with the sticky paper again and add another paper flower accessory to your children's wardrobe. So, you ready for this week's activities? Well, let's get started. In the Pacific Islands, leis are given to celebrate or honor an event or a person. And leis are worn around the neck by both men and women alike. And sometimes they're accompanied by a flower crown, like what we're seeing here. Now that your learner has made a flower crown, we thought a flower lei might go well with a crown. And because leis are meant to be given as gifts, we've included enough materials to make two leis. We will be making them out of paper. So what you want to do is taking the needle that's already got thread attached, you want to thread a flower and then a piece of straw and then another flower and continue this way until the lei is the length that you wanted. When you're done, tie the two strings together and then you can either give it or wear it. I hope they think that, I think can't we think they'll be adorable. I can't wait to see them on your children. This is activity number 8. We're going to build a flower sun catcher. You are going to need your glue and the materials that are contained in bag 8. In the bag, you're going to find a flower template that is black, like these. In fact, the one down on the far right, and strips of tissue paper that have already been pre-cut, and a piece of clear contact paper that still has the covering on it. So we want to start with the template of the flower, and what we need to do is to glue the tissue paper by the strips onto the template. So you're going to have to glue on both sides as you make the tissue paper go across. And mine, when I finished, looked like this. Next, what I wanted to do is to trim, so all of the excess tissue paper that went past the frame has been cut off, so none of the tissue shows off on the front side, just what we can see through. So next we provided a piece of contact paper to enclose the flower in. So what I've done is I taped the piece of contact paper onto the table. Then I removed the top of the flower and had the child place the flower onto the contact paper piece that they had open. And this is going to make the flower stick onto this sticky side. Just so you know, once it's down, it'll never come off. So what we then want to do is take the rest of the contact paper and fold it over to connect with the other sticky side. Mine looked like this when I was done. And you could see I had a kind of a crunchy little part at the end, which didn't look that great. So I wanted it to look more like a flower instead of a square. So I cut around the flower like this so that, and I don't know if you can see here, so it looked more like a flower and I got rid of the kind of not good side. Well, you can then tape this to a window and the light comes through and makes it absolutely beautiful. Or you can hold it up to the light. We can't wait to see your child's. I think it's going to be really neat. This is activity number 9. Did you know that hibiscus flowers can be made into a tea? Well, it's not really a tea because there are no tea leaves. It's more of a tisane. Hibiscus can be drunk, tea can be drunk while it's hot or cold, but I love it cold. It's really, really refreshing. So this is what you're going to need. You need some water, some honey, some lemon juice, and the contents of bag number 9. Just so you know, hibiscus flowers can actually leave stains, so be careful with the liquid when you work with it. We want to make our tea from the dried hibiscus flowers that are in that bag. So we need to start by boiling 4 cups of water. And once the water is at a boil, add a quarter of a cup of hibiscus petals from the bag to the water and stir. Once it's kind of turned all red like it is here, you can add sugar or honey to taste. Now you can drink it hot or you can drink it cold. Both actually work. Um, if you want it cold, let the tea come down to room temperature and then add some ice. But during the summer, I think it is a really refreshing beverage cold. Well, our last activity for this session is activity number 10. And in your box, you're going to find a small cookie sheet, which we are going to use for this activity. It is messy, and it's nice to have some place to contain the overflowing bubbles to one spot. Also, in your box, you're going to find a bag numbered 10, which contains paper and straws. And finally, the paint was given to you in two containers, one purple and one orange by either Fernando or Camilla. So all of these were made with these pictures were made with this bubble technique, which I think you'll find fun. So this is what we want to do. If you want to make your own bubble paint, because this becomes a huge hit, you want to use, the bubbles like you make that you blow bubbles from. You can use bubble solution by taking 3 tablespoons of bubble solution and adding 2 tablespoons of paint, the washable paint that we gave you. Or if you don't have bubble solution, I did not, we used ours with dish soap. 3 tablespoons of dish soap to 2 tablespoons of paint, and then 1 tablespoon of water mixed together. And it'll look clear, kind of like watercolors, more than actually paint when you're done with making it. So your child puts the straw in the paint and then blows. And by doing this, it makes these bubbles that show up on the left. Then what you do is you take your paper and you put it on top of the bubbles and just push down, and the bubbles will start to pop onto your paper. Now, don't forget to overlap the colors by blowing, if you want to overlap colors, by blowing and then putting the paper on both bubbles. Now, once the paper is dry, you could see these beautiful bubbles that have created what looks like flower petals. You can make cards or you can put the creations on your refrigerator. Well, we hope that you enjoyed this activity. Um, and next session is going to be about books by Mo Williams called Elephant and Piggy. Hope to see you then.